Good morning, children. I am going to take 10th standard class, that is history, second lesson. That is the extension of the British rule. Yesterday, I have told you about the introduction of the British. How did the Britishers try cunningly to come into India and how they tried to take away all the places which were under the power of Indians. So in this first part, we are going to learn about the Anglo-Maratha Wars. What do you mean by Anglo-Maratha Wars? The Anglo-Maratha Wars was started in the year 1775 and it ended in 1782. So the Anglo-Maratha War began in 1775 and it ended in 1782. The Maratha instilled Shah Alam II back on the throne of the Mughal Empire in Delhi. You all know earlier the two battles had been fought. That is the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. So after that, after the Battle of Buxar, the Maratha, they gave Shah Alam the power as a Mughal Empire in India. Shah Alam was under the care of British. So Shah Alam was coming under the care of British. So he was given the power of the throne of the Mughal Empire. Shah Alam was under the care of the British when he was defeated in the Battle of Buxar. So in the Battle of Buxar war he was defeated. Then he became like a puppet in the hands of the Mughal Empire, and later on he himself was made as the Mughal Empire in Delhi. The emperor gave, who? Shah Alam. The emperor, he had given two places, which are they? Kora and Allahabad to Marathas. Earlier, it was given to British. So earlier it was Maratha. The emperor had given Kora and Allahabad to Marathas. Means actually it was British, but he had given it to Maratha, the earlier emperor. Okay, earlier it was given to British, and now the emperor gave Kora and Allahabad to Marathas. So now you can understand the minds of the British, because the Kora and Marathas were under them. Now it is now Kora and Allahabad was under them. Now it is gone under the British Maratha rule. So the British, you know how they will show the enmity. So this was the cause of enmity between the Marathas and the British. So till then Maratha and British were in a very good relationship. But after that Kora and Allahabad, which was under British, when the emperor gave to whom? The Marathas, the enmity broke out between the Marathas and the British. During this period, the death of Maratha, so at that same time when there was enmity between British and Maratha, there was a storm in the Peshwa. Why? Because a strong man who was ruling, that is Madhavrao Peshwa, was a great loss to Maratha. Means the death of the Madhavrao Peshwa. At that time only, during that period only, Madhavrao Peshwa passed away, and that was a great loss for the Maratha. Death of Madhavrao Peshwa was a great loss to the Marathas. Later, his brother, means who is Madhavrao's brother, Narayan Rao, came to power. Okay, so Madhavrao was a very strong ruler. He was ruling very nicely and he was a strong, powerful in Maratha. But after his death, there was a great loss. But later on, who came to rule? Who took his place? Madhavrao. His own brother Narayan Rao came to power. But Narayan Rao here was murdered by his uncle, because even uncle was trying to come to the post. So what is the name of his uncle? Narayan Rao was murdered by his uncle. His name was Raghoba. Raghoba means his another name is Raghunath Rao. So Raghunath Rao was the uncle of Narayan Rao. So with the enmity of coming to power, Raghunath Rao, the uncle of Narayan Rao, killed Narayan Rao. There was a fight for the Peshwa post. Now there was no any post left, like nobody was in the power, because after Madhav, Narayan came to rule, and now even Narayan Rao was killed. Now there was a fight who is going to be in the post of Peshwa. The Maratha Federation. Now what did the Maratha Federation do? They brought Madhav Rao II, means Narayan Rao's son. You know, no, Narayan Rao was killed by his uncle Raghunath Rao. So what did the Maratha Federation do? They brought Madhav Rao II, that is the son of Narayan Rao, okay, to the post of Peshwa. Keep it in mind, children. The first ruler was Madhav Rao. After his death, there was a strong blow in the Peshwa, okay. So during the period, the death of the Maratha strongman, Madhav Rao Peshwa, okay, Madhav Rao Peshwa was a very strong man. So after his death, who came to power? Narayan Rao, his brother, came to power, but his power also did not last long, because he was murdered by his own uncle Raghoba or Raghunath Rao. So later on, what did the Maratha Federation do? There was a fight for the Peshwa post. So the Maratha Federation brought Narayan Rao's son. Narayan Rao's son, who was he? Maratha Federation brought Madhav Rao II. Keep it in mind, children. Earlier one was only Madhav Rao, afterwards Narayan Rao. Now the third is Madhav Rao II, son of Narayan Rao, okay, to the post of Peshwa. So angry with these challengers of Maratha, Raghoba, what did he do? He cunningly went and took the help of the British for the post of Peshwa. Means he thought that after the death of Narayan Rao, he will come to the post. But it did not happen. He was angry with the Maratha Federation. And what did this one do? With the anger, he went to take the help of whom? The British. Angry with the changes of the Maratha, that Raghoba was uncle of Narayan Rao. He approached the British for help. So what did they do? Now the British was waiting for a golden opportunity to intervene in between them. So what did they do? A long war waged from 1775 to 1782 between whom? The Maratha and the British. Now the war started between the Marathas and the British, because Raghoba had taken the help of the British. Okay, a long war broke out between 1775 to 1782. Then what happened? In the beginning, Maratha gained always upper hand. All the time the Marathas were winning. Later on, they had a loss. They lost the battle, and they had to lose Allahabad to the British. So they had to give Allahabad to the British when they lost the battle. So now Maratha Federation was not able to sustain the war with the British. Means they were more powerful. The British was more powerful with lot of army. So they were not able to remain in the war field for a longer time. So what did the Maratha Federation do? They entered into an agreement. So one agreement was made to end the war. Means the war shouldn't continue and there shouldn't be more bloodshed. So the Maratha Federation decided to, because they were not able to fight anymore, they decided to stop the war and they entered into the agreement with the British. And what is that agreement, children? That agreement was called as Salbai Agreement. Later on, Madhav Rao II was named as the Peshwa. So did you understand, children? This is very important. Anglo-Maratha War. So I'll repeat once again. The Maratha first, after the second battle of Buxar, they installed whom? Shah Alam back to the throne of Mughal Emperor in Delhi. Shah Alam was under the care of whom? Under the care of British after he was defeated in the battle of Buxar War. The emperor gave Kora and Allahabad. To whom they gave? They gave it to Maratha. but earlier it was under British, but now the emperor gave Kora and Allahabad to whom? To the Maratha. So what happened? This was the cause of enmity, the anger between the British and the Maratha. So this caused enmity, anger between Maratha and the British. So during this period, what happened? There was a death of one of the Maratha strong man. Who was he? He was Madhav Rao Peshwa. So a strong man of Maratha, Madhav Rao Peshwa, was a great loss to the Maratha. The death of his brought a great loss to the Maratha. So later on, what happened? His brother Narayan Rao came to the power or came to the post of Peshwa. But Narayan Rao was brutally murdered by his uncle. Who was his uncle? Raghoba. His name is Raghunath Rao. He was killed. So now there was a fight for the post of Peshwa. Means actually Narayan Rao should have been there. He was killed by whom? By his own uncle Raghunath Rao. So now there was a fight who is going to be the next Peshwa. The Maratha Federation brought Madhav Rao II. Who is Madhav Rao II? He is the son of Narayan Rao, who was killed by his uncle. So here the Maratha Federation brought Madhav Rao II, that is the son of Narayan Rao, to the post of Peshwa. Later on, what happened? Angry with these changes. Who got angry? The changes of Maratha. Raghova, he was angry. He thought he will come. So, he did not come to the post. So, he went to take the help of the British. And now, British got a very good chance to intervene in between. So, they started a long war between the British and the Maratha between 1775 to 1782. And what happened? Later, they had to lose. Earlier Marathas were strong enough, they were winning the war. But as it prolonged longer and longer, the Marathas were not able to face the blows of the British army. So what did they do? They had to lose Allahabad to the British, because Kora and Allahabad, I told you, the Maratha, it was given to Maratha by the emperor. So now Allahabad had to be returned to the British as a loss of war. Later on, what is Maratha Federation thought? That they are not able to sustain the war for a longer time with the British. They cannot remain in the battlefield for a longer time with the British. So what did they decide? They decided to end the war with one of the agreement called as Salbai Agreement. Okay, so later on, who became the Peshwa? Madhav Rao II was named as the Peshwa. Madhav Rao II is the son of Narayan Rao. So later on, Madhav Rao II was named as the Peshwa. Okay, so this agreement also is very important, children. Salbai Agreement. What do you mean by Salbai Agreement? The agreement which the Marathas had done with the British to end the war. Okay, so this is about the Anglo-Maratha war. That is the first Anglo-Maratha war. So, okay, so next I'll be going to next I'm going to the next chapter, that is Lord Wellesley from 1798 to 1805. Who is Lord Wellesley, children? The British Empire expanded after the arrival of Lord Wellesley. So Lord Wellesley is officer of the Britishers. After he came to India, the British Empire was extended, and he is also called as the Governor General of India. Lord Wellesley is the Governor General of India. So after he came to India, the British Empire started extending, means becoming widened or increasing. So Lord Wellesley followed three policies. He had three policies. How his empire was expanded. In what steps? The three steps are: first was subsidiary alliance, already is there on the book. Second is waging war against the new state, and the third is administering the state directly, that was under the control of the British. So second is waging war, and third is administering new states. Okay, so by these three policies he started to expand his power in India. So subsidiary alliance is the first one. Second is waging war against the new state. To wage war against the new state means fighting with the new states. Third is administering the states directly, that were under the control of British. Means they are going to rule over and they are going to look after over and they are going to show their power on the states directly under the control of the British itself. So first and foremost, what do you mean by subsidiary alliance? Lord Wellesley brought the policy into effect in 1798. So this policy came into effect in 1798 to bring Indian states under the control. So he brought the subsidiary alliance policy to bring all the Indian states under his power or under his control. So this was basically a military protection agreement between the East India Company and the Indian state. So this was the agreement which was made between the British East India Company and the Indian state. Means it is basically the military protection agreement. Military protection agreement between the British East India Company and the Indian states. Now there are certain conditions of subsidiary alliance. What are the conditions of the subsidiary alliance? The first and the foremost is the Indian king had to keep the British army in his kingdom. Got it, children? The Indian king, they had to keep their British army, they had to keep in their kingdom. Means the Indians had to take care of the British army and keep the British army. Indian king had to keep the British army in their kingdom, in his kingdom. Second, the concerned state had to pay the expenses of the army and the wages of the soldiers, and also had to give a certain revenue lands as well. See the second point, means the concerned states where the British army was kept, the king had to bear the expenses of that army, and also they had to pay the wages of the British soldiers, and also had to give certain revenue lands. Lands had to be given to the army as well. The third point, the king has to have a British resident in his court. Means a British resident should be there in his court. One resident should be given for the whom? For the king had to give for a British as a resident in the court of the king. In the court of the king, the British has to be having a resident to have a stay. Okay, next one, children. The king could not appoint any other European without the permission of the British. Means the king did not have any powers, so they cannot appoint any of the Europeans without the permission of whom? Without the permission of the British. In order to enter any agreement or pact with an Indian government, the permission of the Governor General was mandatory. Means in order to enter any agreement, if they have to enter any agreement or any pact, okay, if they have to sign any pact with any Indian government whose permission had to be taken, the Governor General's permission was mandatory. Who was Governor General? Lord Wellesley. In return of all these services, the company would offer protection to the state from any internal or external aggression. So this East India Company, what they told, in return we are going to take care of you, will protect you from inside as well as outside, internal states or the external. So whatever is the problem we are going to solve. So that is the promise what the Britishers had given. Okay, so this is what about the subsidiary alliance condition. Okay, so the Hyderabad state was the first one to enter into this agreement. So Hyderabad was the first state who entered into this agreement. Later, Mysore, Awadh, Tanjore, Pune, Gwalior and other states also entered into this agreement. I'll repeat once again, children. Lord Wellesley, when did he came? 1798 to 1805. So, after the British Empire, after his arrival, the British Empire was extended and he was also called, known as the Governor General of India. Lord Wellesley was the Governor General of India. Lord Wellesley followed three policies. What are those three policies? One is subsidiary alliance, second is waging war against new states, and the third is administering the states directly that were under the control of the British. Okay, so now first and foremost, what is subsidiary alliance? Lord Wellesley brought Indians into he is the first one who brought this policy into effect. In which way he brought this policy? 1798, to bring Indian states under control. This was basically a military protection agreement between the East India Company and the Indian states. Okay, so agreement between East India Company and Indian states. And what are the conditions of the subsidiary alliance? The first and the foremost, the Indian king had to keep the British army in his kingdom. Second, the concerned state had to bear the expense of the army and the wages of the soldiers, and also had to give certain revenue lands as well. Third, the king has to have a British resident in his court. Fourth, the king could not appoint any other European without the permission of the British. Next, in order to enter any agreement or any pact with the Indian government, the permission of the Governor General, that is Lord Wellesley, was to be taken. It was mandatory. In return of all these services, the company would offer protection to the states from any external as well as internal aggression. And in this, the first state who merged for this agreement was the Hyderabad state, was the first state, and later on it was followed by Mysore, Awadh, Tanjore, Pune, Virar, Gwalior and other states were entered into this agreement. So I am going to stop here, children. Next I am going to continue in the next class. For your homework, you are going to write the definition about what do you mean by First Anglo-Maratha War, about Lord Wellesley and subsidiary alliance, and the fourth one is the conditions of the subsidiary alliance.